Hello YouTube, this is VidHead85 and we are going to talk about Gangs of New York. So Gangs of New York I thought was a pretty interesting film. I also thought that the time period was also something that is quite overlooked. See, a lot of times when people think about the organized crime, they think about the New York City, of course, with the Italian mobs and the five families and the commission with Lucky Luciano, who helped set that up, and then the five crime families. But looking into the Irish gangs was something that I believe, of course, predated the the rise of the Italian mob in New York City, and I thought that it was a nice touch. Now, Martin Scorsese, of course, is an amazing filmmaker. He is very visual. His cinematography is pretty excellent. However, I think that the cinematography can't make up for the fact that his story was an hour longer than it should have been. I think maybe part of the Cameron Diaz thing should have been taken out of there. You could have cut the dance entirely. I personally think that having her be a badass and a thief and maybe a rival to Valen, played by Leonardo DiCaprio, I would have liked that better. But again, Martin Scorsese, he tends to make good films, and they're usually over the 2 hour mark. And he kind of reminds me of the Kendrick brothers, where they always have to make a film 2 hours long. Just because a film can be 2 hours doesn't mean that it should be. So Gangs of New York, I thought was a great film. Cinematography, I think it, of course, could have been shorter, but I also think as well the last fight was anticlimactic. There was a piece of the conscription act that came into the film in the third act, and it pushed the action a little bit, but it really didn't raise the stakes as much as I felt that last part really had nothing to do with it. Although more or less they kind of used that so that the police wouldn't break up the fight, the rumble that was coming at the last minute. So, would I watch Gangs of New York again? Would I recommend it? Not really. I mean, don't waste your time. While I said it's good cinematically, the cinematography is great. Don't waste your time. I feel that it was a decent film, but I think that it just tried to be too much. I think it tried to be an epic. I think it took itself too seriously, and I would hate to see the deleted footage. So thank you for joining me for this review of Gangs of New York, and enjoy the rest of your time. Let me know what you thought of Gangs of New York in the comments below. Thank you.